Somewhere tonight, a man is asleep. Phone face down on the nightstand. No alarm set for a shift. No emails open on a laptop beside him. And while he sleeps, his bank account is moving. A payment lands at 11:47 p.m. from a vending machine 2 towns over. Another one clears at 2 a.m. from a storage unit he hasn't visited in months. A third comes in just before sunrise, a laundromat load cycle finishing on the other side of the city, machines quietly earning quarters into a business account nobody's watching. He doesn't see any of it happen. He won't even check his phone until he wakes up. That's the part that should unsettle you a little. Somewhere between the version of success we're sold online, hustle culture, 5 a.m. alarms, grinding until midnight, and the version that actually builds wealth, there's a group of people who figured out how to get paid while doing absolutely nothing, not because they're lucky, because their businesses run without them. Today, we're counting down 20 businesses that can eventually run this way, starting with the biggest, slowest bets, and ending with the single fastest path to profit on this entire list. Stick around for number 1. It might be the easiest business on this list to start this week. Let's begin. Number 20, self-storage rental. This is simply renting out individual storage units where people pay monthly to store furniture, vehicles, or belongings they don't have room for. It's the biggest capital commitment on this list, typically $500,000 to $2 million or more for land and construction, though a smaller entry is possible through a franchise or partial ownership. But it comes with high margins, often 60 to 70% net operating margin once occupancy stabilizes, and a payback period of 5 to 10 years. It's the one people frame as least exciting, yet it remains one of the most consistently profitable categories in real estate. People downsize, relocate, divorce, inherit clutter, and none of that ever fully stops. It's a business built on human disorganization and life transitions, both permanent features of society. Number 19, laundromats. This is a self-service coin or card-operated facility where customers wash and dry their own clothes for a per-load fee. Buying an existing location typically costs $200,000 to $500,000, or over $1 million for a new build. Net profit often runs $3,000 to $10,000 a month or more once operational, with a payback period of 3 to 7 years. Nobody dreams of owning a laundromat, that's the point. It's chased for cash flow, not status. Revenue stays steady whether the economy booms or contracts because clean clothes are never optional. Machines often last a decade or more with basic maintenance, and many owners run multiple locations part-time. Number 18, specialty food trucks. This is a mobile kitchen on wheels that sells a specific type of food or cuisine at different locations, events, or festivals. Startup costs run $50,000 to $150,000 for the truck purchase, build-out, and permits. Profit per event or day typically lands between $500 and $2,000, highly variable by location and season, with a payback period of 1 to 3 years. It's not glamorous restaurant ownership, but a stripped-down, lower-risk version of it. The U.S. food truck industry now generates well over $1.5 billion annually. The flexibility to relocate and test menus cheaply is exactly what makes it survive where full restaurants often don't. Number 17, reusable packaging supply. This means supplying businesses with durable, returnable containers and packaging as an alternative to single-use plastic. Startup investment runs $20,000 to $100,000 or more for inventory, logistics setup, and securing business contracts. Margins vary widely by contract, but once established, revenue tends to be recurring, with a payback period of 1 to 3 years. It's riding a wave most people don't notice until regulation forces their hand. Governments are steadily tightening restrictions on single-use packaging, and someone has to supply the reusable alternative at scale. Demand here is being created by law, not a trend that can vanish overnight. Number 16, vending machines. This is owning and stocking automated snack, drink, or product machines placed in high-traffic locations like offices and gyms. A single machine costs $2,000 to $5,000, scaling to $40,000 or $100,000 for a full route of 20 to 30 machines. Each machine can generate $50 to $300 a month in near pure profit, with a payback period of 12 to 24 months per machine. Modern units track inventory remotely and accept card payments. A single well-placed machine generates steady monthly profit with almost no labor. Scale to 30 machines and you've built a business running largely on autopilot. It looks like a relic. It behaves like a cash machine. Number 15, mobile pet grooming. This is a traveling grooming service that washes, trims, and grooms pets on site using a specially equipped van. Startup investment runs $10,000 to $30,000 for the van conversion and grooming equipment. Profit per appointment typically lands between $80 and $150 at a premium over storefront groomers with a payback period of 8 to 18 months. It adds the convenience of an at-home visit on top of a service people already pay for. Owners pay a noticeable premium for a groomer who arrives on site instead of stuffing a nervous dog into a car. Once a client route is established, bookings become predictable and recurring. Number 14, baby gear rental. This means renting cribs, car seats, and strollers to traveling families so they don't have to bring their own equipment. Startup investment runs $5,000 to $15,000 for inventory. Profit per rental period typically runs $50 to $150 with a payback period of 6 to 12 months. It's a niche nobody built a headline around, yet it sits inside a market worth well over $1 billion and still expanding. Traveling families don't want to drag cribs and car seats through airports, and this business delivers clean, safety-checked equipment directly to their door. Number 13, home-based meal prep and food subscriptions. This is cooking and delivering pre-made meals or weekly meal plans directly to customers from a home or small kitchen. Startup costs run $2,000 to $10,000 for commercial kitchen certification, ingredients, and packaging. Profit typically runs $10 to $20 per meal, scaling fast with subscriber volume with a payback period of 3 to 6 months. It's built entirely around solving the one problem nearly every busy household shares: wanting to eat well without the time or energy to cook from scratch nightly. It combines recurring subscription revenue with the personal trust of a home cook, a combination surprisingly hard for larger impersonal competitors to replicate. Number 12, on-site equipment and appliance repair. This means traveling to a customer's home to repair broken appliances, tools, or small engines instead of them replacing them. Startup investment runs $3,000 to $15,000 for tools, diagnostic equipment, and a van. Profit per call-out typically runs $75 to $200, with a payback period of 6 to 12 months. As replacement costs keep climbing, more people choose to repair rather than replace, and very few businesses are built specifically around that shift. This is a skills-based business, which naturally limits competition to people who actually know what they're doing. Number 11, junk removal. This is hauling away unwanted furniture, appliances, and renovation debris from homes or job sites for a fee. Startup costs run $5,000 to $20,000 for a truck, trailer, dump fees, and insurance. Profit per job typically runs $200 to $600 with a payback period of 6 to 12 months. It's uglier, less Instagrammable, and exactly why it works. Most aspiring entrepreneurs skip straight past this idea because it sounds physically unpleasant, keeping competition thinner than almost any other local service category. The few people willing to do the lifting are rarely short on customers. That's 10 down, 10 to go, and this is exactly where things start getting fast. Number 10, mobile car detailing. This is cleaning and polishing vehicles inside and out at the customer's home or office instead of a shop. Startup investment runs $3,000 to $10,000 for a van and equipment, including a pressure washer, vacuum, and polishing tools. Profit per job typically runs $100 to $300 with a payback period of 2 to 4 months. No storefront, no rent, just a van, equipment, and a phone number. Once the gear is paid off, almost every dollar after gas and supplies is profit. Word of mouth alone can fill a calendar in dense suburban areas, especially with repeat customers on monthly plans. Number 9, pressure washing. This means using high-pressure water equipment to clean driveways, siding, decks, and storefronts. Startup costs run $2,000 to $5,000 for a pressure washer, truck rack, and basic marketing. Profit per job typically runs $150 to $500, with most jobs completed in under 2 hours and a payback period of 1 to 3 months. Minimal startup cost, high margins, and a service almost nobody thinks to build a personal brand around, meaning less noise, less competition, steady local demand. Jobs are quick, results are visibly obvious, and repeat business builds naturally through seasonal contracts. Number 8. Home cleaning services. This is providing regular or one-time house cleaning for homeowners who don't have time to do it themselves. Startup investment runs $500 to $3,000 for supplies, insurance, and initial marketing. Profit per home visit typically runs $100 to $250, scaling with recurring contracts with a payback period of 1 to 2 months. It's easy to dismiss as just cleaning until dual-income households treat it as a non-negotiable expense rather than a luxury. Recurring bi-weekly or monthly contracts create predictable revenue, and a small team can service dozens of homes weekly with the right routing. Number 7. Dog walking and pet sitting. This is walking, feeding, or watching over pets for owners who are working or traveling. Startup costs run $200 to $1,000 for insurance, basic gear, and marketing. Profit typically runs $20 to $40 per walk, or $50 to $100 per overnight site, with a payback period of immediate to a few weeks. It's dismissed as a teenager's summer job, not a real business, exactly the misconception that keeps it undercompeted. Recurring local demand, extremely low overhead, and fiercely loyal repeat customers make this one of the most stable income streams available to anyone willing to actually show up on time, every time. Number 6. Tax preparation services. This means preparing and filing individual or business tax returns on behalf of clients, usually during tax season. Startup investment runs $500 to $3,000 for courses, licensing, and tax software. Profit per return typically runs $150 to $500, concentrated into a few months, with the payback period usually falling within the first tax season. It's seasonal, it's unglamorous, and it's one of the only businesses on this list where demand is written directly into law. A preparer can build a meaningful chunk of a year's income within a few concentrated months, then use the rest of the year for planning services or another venture entirely. Number 5. Local SEO and social media management. This means managing a small business's online presence, posting content, running social accounts, and improving their visibility in local search results. Startup costs run close to zero, up to about $1,000 for a phone, editing software, and a portfolio site. Profit typically runs $500 to $2,000 per client per month on retainer, with a payback period of 1 to 2 months. It sounds modern, but it functions exactly like the old-school Yellow Pages guy from decades ago. Someone has to make small businesses visible, and most owners still don't know how to do this themselves. Number 4. Bookkeeping. This means managing a business's day-to-day financial records, tracking income, expenses, invoices, and accounts on their behalf. Startup investment runs $500 to $2,000 for certification and accounting software. Profit typically runs $300 to $800 per client per month on retainer, scaling with client count, with a payback period of 1 to 2 months. Every business needs accurate financial records, and most owners either can't or won't do it themselves. Bookkeeping remains unglamorous work nobody brags about at a dinner party, precisely why it stays underserved and consistently well paid. Number 3. Online tutoring. This is teaching academic subjects, test prep, or skills to students one-on-one over video call. Startup costs are close to zero, up to about $300 for a laptop, webcam, and maybe a booking platform. Profit typically runs $25 to $75 per hour, higher for test prep or technical subjects, with a payback period of immediate to a few days. It quietly scaled far beyond the classroom the moment video calling became normal. A tutor's reach is no longer limited to their zip code, and demand grows every time a traditional education system fails to fully prepare students for tests or careers. Number 2. transcription services. This means converting recorded audio or video, podcasts, meetings, interviews into written text. Startup costs run close to zero, up to about $500 for a computer you likely already own and optional editing software. Profit typically runs $15 to $30 per audio hour, scaling with speed and specialization, with the payback period being immediate, since the first job usually covers any startup cost. Every podcast, every recorded meeting, every video eventually needs to become text for accessibility, search visibility, and repurposing. Its invisible infrastructure and invisible work rarely gets undercut by hype-driven competitors. And number 1, notary services. This is a licensed person who witnesses and certifies the signing of legal documents, such as real estate closings and loan paperwork. Startup investment runs $200 to $600 for a certification course, state commission fee, stamp, and insurance. Profit typically runs $75 to $150 per signing, often stacking 3 to 5 signings in an afternoon, with the payback period being immediate, usually within the first week of signings. It's quiet, procedural, almost invisible, and precisely the kind of business people assume technology already replaced. But real estate closings, loan signings, and legal documents still require a licensed notary's physical signature and stamp in the vast majority of transactions, recession or not. That's the full list. 20 businesses, from the biggest bet to the fastest win. So here's the uncomfortable question. If these businesses are genuinely this profitable, why does nobody talk about them? The answer is almost embarrassingly simple. None of these businesses are exciting to talk about. There's no app to screenshot, no funding round to announce, no slick landing page to go viral on social media. A vending machine doesn't trend, a pressure washer doesn't get featured on a founder journey reel. And that's exactly the mechanism at play. Attention and profitability are not the same thing. In fact, they're often inversely related. The businesses everyone talks about attract the most competition, the thinnest margins, and the highest failure rates because everyone rushes in at once. The businesses nobody talks about stay underserved, specifically because they don't feed anyone's ego. There's a quiet irony buried in all of this. The entrepreneur posting about their 6-figure exit from a flashy app rarely mentions their profit margin. The person quietly running 4 laundromats rarely posts at all. They're too busy collecting quarters and reinvesting in machine number 5. Here's where the popular narrative starts to crack. Online, entrepreneurship has been rebranded as a lifestyle aesthetic, laptops on beaches, 6-figure launches, courses selling the idea of success more than the substance of it. Meanwhile, the actual data tells a rougher, less photogenic story. The overwhelming majority of new businesses that survive past their first few years aren't apps or platforms. They're service businesses, plumbers, cleaners, haulers, detailers, bookkeepers, solving unavoidable, unglamorous problems for people willing to pay to avoid doing them personally. The hype version of entrepreneurship promises exponential growth, viral moments, and overnight scale. The reality is closer to a laundromat spin cycle, repetitive, unremarkable, and reliably profitable, precisely because it doesn't rely on anyone's excitement to keep functioning. This isn't to say every forgotten business is a guaranteed win. Plenty fail from bad location choices, poor pricing, or simple lack of follow-through. But the failure isn't due to the business model being outdated. It's due to the same execution mistakes that sink any business, dressed in less exciting clothing. Zoom out, and a bigger pattern emerges. Every decade, a wave of businesses gets quietly declared obsolete by public opinion, while their actual revenue tells a completely different story. Vending machines were dead the moment smartphones appeared. Laundromats were dead the moment washer-dryer combos became affordable. Notaries were supposedly made irrelevant by digital signatures. None of these predictions came true. The businesses didn't disappear, the public's attention did. This creates a strange, repeatable cycle. Attention moves toward whatever looks futuristic. Competition follows attention. Margins shrink wherever competition piles up. Meanwhile, the businesses left behind by public interest quietly keep collecting revenue from problems that never actually went away. There's a bigger implication buried in this pattern, and it's slightly uncomfortable to sit with. A huge percentage of people chasing innovative business ideas may actually be chasing attention, not profit. And a huge percentage of the wealth quietly building in the background belongs to people who are fine being ignored. Let's put one final piece of real math against this, because vague optimism isn't the point here. Notice the pattern across the countdown. The businesses we ended on, notary work, transcription, tutoring, bookkeeping, require almost no capital and pay back almost immediately, but they also cap out lower unless you hire a team around them. The businesses we started with, self-storage, laundromats, require serious capital and years of patience, but once they're paid off, they tend to keep generating strong income for decades with very little day-to-day involvement. There's no universally best answer on this list. There's only a trade-off between speed and ceiling, between how fast you want your money back and how large you want the outcome to eventually become. What's consistent across all 20, from number 20 to number 1, is that none of them require genius-level innovation. They require picking an unglamorous problem, showing up consistently, and reinvesting profit instead of chasing headlines. So here's where this leaves us. 20 businesses, counted down from the biggest, slowest bet to the fastest, leanest win, all still standing after being written off as outdated, boring, or beneath discussion. None of them require a pitch deck. None of them need a viral moment to survive. All of them are still quietly making people money, largely because almost nobody wants to admit that's where the money actually is. Maybe that's simply how markets work. Attention chases excitement, and excitement drains margins, while the unglamorous work quietly absorbs whatever's left behind. Or maybe there's something slightly uncomfortable in that. Maybe we've collectively decided that a business has to look impressive before it's allowed to be considered legitimate, even when the impressive-looking businesses fail at a far higher rate than the boring ones sitting quietly in the background. Either way, next time you see a vending machine, a laundromat, or a man with a pressure washer in the back of his truck, you'll know the truth hiding in plain sight. The only real question left is this: how many more of these forgotten businesses are sitting in front of us right now, dismissed simply because nobody bothered to take them seriously?